Treblinka existed. What happened there happened. Some histories resist telling, not because the evidence is scarce or because the story lacks witnesses, but because the scale of what happened strains the very machinery of human comprehension. Treblinka is one of those histories. In the dense forest of occupied Poland, on land that is now quiet and overgrown, nearly 900,000 people were murdered in little over a year. They came from Warsaw, Radom, and other places, from orphanages and apartments, and ghettos and farms. They arrived by train in cattle cars, told they were being resettled. Most were dead within hours of arrival. The Nazis who ran this place were so confident in its efficiency and so determined to hide what they had done that they spent the final months of its operation tearing it apart, dynamiting the gas chambers, burning the bodies, ploughing the earth, planting crops over the graves, and installing a farmer on the land as though nothing had ever happened there. They almost succeeded. What follows is the full story of Treblinka. What happened at Treblinka was by any measure among the most concentrated acts of mass murder in the recorded history, and it deserves to be understood with clarity, precision, and the full weight of human attention. There is a particular kind of horror in a crime designed to vanish. Murder leaves traces. Mass murder leaves more. But the men who built and operated Treblinka understood this, and when the time came, they worked with the same methodical efficiency they had applied to killing, dismantling, burning, burying, planting, erasing, determined that the world would find nothing but forest and farmland where nearly 900,000 people had been reduced to ash. They failed. The ground at Treblinka would not cooperate. Decades after the camp was demolished, the earth continued to surface what had been forced into it: bones, teeth, personal effects, the foundations of gas chambers, the fragments of lives interrupted without warning or mercy. Survivors who had escaped through the chaos of an armed uprising carried their memories into courtrooms, into sculpture studios, into the written record, and held them there with a grip that time could not loosen. Archaeologists arrived with technology the Nazis could never have anticipated, mapping what lay beneath the soil without disturbing it, confirming with scientific precision what witnesses had said all along. Located approximately 100 kilometers northeast of Warsaw, in a region of occupied Poland that the Nazis had effectively sealed from the outside world, Treblinka began its existence in November 1941 as a forced labor camp. Prisoners extracted gravel, worked on irrigation projects, endured conditions designed to exhaust and dehumanize without yet crossing into systematic extermination. That transformation came in 1942, driven by a decision made at the highest level of the Nazi state, a decision to accelerate the murder of European Jews from sporadic localized massacres into something far more deliberate and far more total. What emerged from that decision was Treblinka II, an extermination camp constructed 1.5 kilometers from the labor site. Purpose: built for one function and one function only. It operated from July 23, 1942 until August 19, 1943. In that time, it killed more people per day than most conflicts kill in a year. At its peak, the camp processed between 12,000 and 15,000 victims every 24 hours, a figure so extreme that the Holocaust historian Raoul Hilberg described the operation of such camps as the most lethal achievement of Nazi regime. Yet for decades, Treblinka occupied a strange and insufficient place in public memory. Auschwitz-Birkenau, with its surviving infrastructure and its liberation by Allied forces, became the dominant symbol of the Holocaust in the minds of people. Treblinka, deliberately erased, left behind no gas chambers to photograph, no barracks to preserve, no gate to stand at for the cameras of liberation. What it left behind was silence, a handful of survivors, and a landscape that looked from a distance and to those who did not know like ordinary Polish countryside. The story of Treblinka is not a comfortable one. It should not be. But it is a necessary one for the 900,000 who did not survive it, for the handful who did, and for every generation that inherits the obligation to understand what happened and to refuse, with full knowledge and clear eyes, to look away.